primary objective of this workshop is to mainstream bamboo as a construction material. Another important objective is to provide a hands-on experience in making to the participants, and this will hopefully encourage a better understanding of how things come together. Day, there would be a review session with all the students and the participants to review the whole workshop, how it happened, and what are the takeaways.
And we've requested 3 special reviewers: Sandeep Sangaru, product designer at Bangalore, architect GOPA, and Madhusudan Chalasani to be the reviewers of this workshop.
In the process, which were the moments of discovery, which were the moments where you felt good about the workshop?
But I'm asking, what is different here? That's the question.
It's a beautiful joint which has a modularity to it. You can fix things, bring them together. It works in tension, it is holding everything together.
So there are workshops and this, I'm seeing that when they are institutionalized, these initiatives, they may have, being an optimist, they may have a possibility to dent the general discourse on public projects. Today, it's all about making, it's not that one should not make attractive buildings or attractive stuff, but at what cost, at what environmental cost, at what social cost.
Exchange and have platforms like this, maybe there is certain things that come out of it. I think events or workshops like this kind of help that happen.
It's a wonderful initiative. I think you couldn't have done better to introduce material, to introduce some kind of, as he's suggesting, it's a window for people to explore further. It's not a starting, it's just a starting point, it's not an end in itself.
I think that design and build either happens on a whim or is very well planned and happens in a sequences series. But here, doing the work, I realized that one, everything is a lot harder. You have to do it, especially visualizing the construction process of it. So that is something that I really got exposed to a lot.
It was a great exposure and environment where we tried to learn about the bamboo joinery, about the fixing of bamboo, how user-friendly it is, and the environmental conditions of it. And I would also like to thank the organizers who have given us this opportunity to learn and to practically do it.
Even as a practicing architect, for me, if I'm witnessing the workshop, I get to meet my other fraternity friends. We all take away things from each other. There's so much learning. It's like we are back to college days and we get a lot to take back from these 5 days that we together.
The skill is there. We just get them together. You have to devote some time to get them together.
ఇంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరినీ కూడా ఒక చోట చేర్చి ఒక సమూహంగా థింక్ ట్యాంక్స్ అందరినీ ఒక చోట పెట్టి నిపుణత విభిన్నత డిఫరెంట్ మెటీరియల్స్ అన్నింటినీ కూడా వాళ్ళకి పరిచయం చేసి వర్క్షాప్ వీళ్ళందరినీ కూడా ఒక చోటకి చేసి బ్రింగింగ్ పీపుల్ టుగెదర్ ఐడి హైదరాబాద్ చాప్టర్ యొక్క బృంద సభ్యులందరికీ పేరు పేరున నేను శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. ఈ అవకాశాన్ని అలేఖ్య సంస్థ కలిగించడం కూడా ఐఎమ్ సిన్సియర్లీ థ్యాంక్ఫుల్ టు ది ఐడి హైదరాబాద్ చాప్టర్.
Wow, what a great compilation of that video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Yeah. Now I like to play a video on best of. We'll start. We'll start. You want to play now? So now let's have a quick video on best or the waste. Yeah, can you please play the video?
The matter can never be destroyed, as we all know. A matter remains a matter however it is, but it can change its character.
The Best from Waste workshop is continuing for the second time, but this time with the theme of expressions. The idea behind doing this workshop is to get the junior level of students involved in this workshop, like the first, second and third years of architecture as well as interior design students. This is a platform which IID has created to give them exposure to exhibitions are set up, and also to give them an idea to work with their thoughts, follow a process and come up with an objectification of any theme that is given.
200 years, 300 years back, there's nothing like a waste. For example, a coconut tree, every small part of the coconut has been used. Even the shell is also never been wasted. They have made handicraft with it. They've used it as a container. Some people have done graphical representation of mythology on a shell, and everything has some meaning, and they have justified a full circle.
Had 9 colleges participating in this workshop, and we gave team leaders or mentors to each group. We combined the architecture and
bobs of other things as well. using the colors of the cloth, we try to express the expanse of natural elements like brown for earth and blue for water and sky, the lighter blue for the sky. So we also got a very nice deep blue cloth. We have painted the Starry Night, Van Gogh's Starry Night, an homage to the great artist. We are putting this all together as a screen in the Fibonacci sequence. This is a kind of conflicting idea where expanse of the earth and of our surrounding can also be restricting in a manner of speaking. Cloth is very thin material, so it's like a screen, so you can see through transparency, light coming in and out. There is no top to it, so experiencing nature in its truest form. We thought this is the best way to express the term expanse.
Myself, I'm Seshu from Hamstead. So I'm going to represent the Hamstead College, and I'm the faculty of the Hamstead. So we thought of taking a superhero, it's called as the Hulk, and our concept is anger. They provided us the tiles, so we broke them into pieces and we have just pasted because the anger depicts damage. So we made a center table for it. So we had a plank on the top which is made out of plywood, and upon it we pasted all the broken tiles. And we had a center hole in the plank. So within that circle, the ant evolves.
Hi, this is Shravya. As a mentor, I came here. It's a wonderful opportunity to me. As a sculptor, we thought that we can do a movement sculpture.
Hi, this is architect Gayatri, and I am a principal architect at Living in Dharti firm, architectural firm. I am mentoring the college CSIIT, and our work
This is architect Ashwant Chandra, a practicing landscape architect with the firm called Living in Dharti, LIDA for short. I'm currently mentoring the team of JNA FAU architecture students. Some of them are master students and some of them being bachelors. And the topic we were given is surprise. So that is where we have taken the inspiration of nature and the smallest of the particles, fountain grass. So the structure we are creating is a fountain that makes music, gives light and lets you sit around. So there are multiple levers for this fountain wherein which you pull the levers, which are something like the levers are actually the flowers of this fountain grass, and with each one you pull down or push.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To start this evening, we'll start off with the national anthem, and may I now request everybody to please rise for the same.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंग हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधितरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. I would like to invite the chairperson, Architect Manoj Bahi, IIDSRC Honorary Secretary, Architect Praveen None, and Honorary Treasurer, Architect Rakesh Vasu, to kindly come and start the proceedings of the LGBM for the term 21-23.
Yeah, good evening again. So we are now reconvening for the last general body meeting for the term 2021-2023 for the Institute of Indian Interior Designers Hyderabad Legal Chapters term. And I would now request our Honorary Secretary, Architect N. Praveen Kumar, to read the minutes of the meeting for the 27th last general body meeting, which was held on 24th of September 2022 at 6 p.m. at the Marigold Hotel.
Yeah, thank you, Manoj. Treasurer report for the year ending 31st March 2022 be approved, and the same is hereby adopted. Proposed by Architect Yashwant Ramurthy, seconded by Architect Milind Kolligar. To approve the audited accounts and the auditor's report for the year ending March 31st, 2022. The audited accounts along with the auditor's report for the year ending March 31st, 2022 was displayed at the venue. Honorary Treasurer Architect Rakesh Vasu sought from the House the approval and adoption of the audited statement of accounts for the year ending March 31st, 2022 along with the auditor's report. Resolved that the audited statement of account along with the audited report for the year ending 31st March 2022 be approved, and the same is hereby adopted. Proposed by Architect Aparna Bidarkar and seconded by Mr. Vikas Malpani. Induction of new members. A total of 34 new members were inducted this year to IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter. The new members present at the AGM were given IIID lapel pins and certificate by past chairperson Engineer Ravindra Anchuri and past chairperson Aparna Bidarkar. Chairman address. The chairman, Architect Manoj Vahi, thanked all the past chairpersons, MC members, advisory members, inside her team, chapter members, and members who have supported the various initiatives, including the sponsors for the major events over the past year of the term 2021 and 2023. Vote of thanks. Honorary Secretary Architect N. Praveen Kumar concluded with the vote of thanks on behalf of the Managing Committee. He expresses his gratitude to past chairpersons, fellow members, chapter members, and trade members for the attending the 27th Annual General Body Meeting of the term 2021 to 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Praveen, Honorary Secretary. I would now request one of our members to propose the minutes of the meeting, and the member who proposes has to be a member who has attended the last meeting. So our past chairperson, Engineer Ravi Anchuri, is proposing. I would now request a member from the audience to second the proposal. Thank you, ma'am. So our past chairperson, Architect Renu Hassan, has seconded the minutes. Thank you. So now we move on to the next point in the agenda, which is to receive and adopt the Honorary Secretary's report for the period up to June 2023. Over to you, Praveen Kumar.
Yeah, this year our primary goal was bridge the gap between the design professionals, industries, and academics. The new attempt for the students present this time was with a national renowned architect Hiren Patel, who led a session at JNFAU. The initiative of the session was to get insight by understanding his design philosophy for various types of projects. We co-curated the sessions with renowned speakers in collaboration with IDAC at Expo 2022. The keynote speakers was architect Anupama and architect Sang Lim Lee. In the same event, more than 50 other nationally renowned architects and interior designers presented their works at various sessions. In collaboration with the Craft Council of Telangana, we had Angadi 2023, the craft bazaar for the members. And we also conducted a plantation drive on occasion of completing 50 years of AAAD, had a team building and bonding session. In collaboration with JNFAU, we organized the event named Remembering Architect B.V. Doshi, where we displayed panels of student workshops on Doshi projects, screened documentaries, hosted a quiz on architect B.V. Doshi, and had a keynote address by Professor Neelkanth Chaya. The best finalists received awards in the 14th edition of AAAD HRC Design Awards 2022. Interior designer Sona Chetwani and interior designer Raj Sriram were awarded with a Distinguished Professional Award. And we witnessed an opening some new stores, Decor World. We had two successful IFI series, which designers shared their design journeys. We would like to thank our sponsors, the Urban Furnishings and Malpani Recrafting Ideas, who also had a second edition of I3 series. We also celebrated Ramjan together as a family and had a Dawati Iftar. And we also brought inspiring design journeys of eminent speakers, architect Dipen Gada, architect Naresh, V. Narasimhan, and architect Hiren Patel. We would now like to revisit our term with compilation of our journey. I think Srinath, can you play that video? Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen, for this lovely compilation of the 2 years, though we are still a little away from the final handover. And I would now request if one of our members can just approve the Secretary's report. Secretary's report, if someone can approve. Our live trade member, Suleiman Hirani, he is consented to give the approval, and a very senior member, trade, Mr. B.S. Rao has seconded it. Thank you so much. We now move on to the next point in the agenda, which is to receive and adopt the audited statements of accounts of the immediately preceding financial year, that is the year ending 31st March 2023. So I would now request our Honorary Treasurer, Architect Rakesh Vasu, to present the audited statements. And they were also put up on the board, and I think they were also shared with you in our mails which went for the AGM. So I'd request Vasu to take this up. Thank you.
A very good evening to all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank you for attending this event, and also the sponsors Seating World and Madhusudan Marble, who played a crucial role in supporting the events with a grand success. I would like to present the financial performance and position of IIID HRC for the year ending 31st March 2023. Under the income column, income from educational activities, from the event presentations.
Srinath, can we display this? Please, we need to display this.
No.
You don't have it on the system? Okay. You can go through this and send the...
Yeah, sorry for the disturbance, please. It's okay. Yeah, under the events presentation, we have an income of 4 crores 45 lakhs 18,175. Miscellaneous receipts 4 lakhs 67,367. Royalty income 15 lakhs. Entry fees 39,560. Sale of tickets 78,644. Interest income on fixed deposits is 14 lakhs 40,879 rupees, totaling to 4 crores 80 lakhs 44,625 rupees. Under the expenses columns, we have establishments and administrative expenses, which is coming to 14 lakhs 37,402. AGM and other meeting expenses is 4 lakhs 5,880. Audit fee 20,000. Salaries is 5 lakhs 12,000. Repairs and maintenance is 7,607. Traveling expenses is 12,295. Bank charges 354. GST expenses is 4 lakhs 24,130. Printing and stationery is 13,568. Telephone expenses is 2,055. Office expenses 28,543. Discount and rounding off minus 3,525. Postage and courier expenses 4,179. Other expenses 10,316. Totaling to 14 lakhs 37,402. Under the expenses related to events, seminars, etc., event food expenses 37 lakhs 41,911. Event total expenses 6 lakhs 78,837. Event other expenses 1 crore 89 lakhs 99,239. Event printing and stationery expenses 2 lakhs 45,430. Event traveling 6 lakhs 11,033. Event venue rent 49 lakhs 96,125. Event gift and mementos 6 lakhs 22,631. Event video shooting and photography 89,200. Under the depreciation, we have 7,788. So this is totaling to 4 crores 80 lakhs 44,625. This is the total after we have the royalties particulars, which is receivable from the HO for the year 2020-23 is 2,56,891. Royalty payable to HO 2020-23 is 29,48,032 with a negative of 26,91,141. Surplus deficit after royalty is 1 crore 39 lakhs 23,888. Yeah, that is a profit. Last financial year, that was a profit what we had made. And kindly note, as Manoj, our chairman, has mentioned earlier, independent auditor's report and balance sheet details are displayed on the notice board at the entrance for those of you who would want to go through for your kind information, please. Thank you.
Thank you to our honorary treasurer, Rakesh Vasu, for reading the reports. So these are the audited reports. We also have fixed deposits which are parked in the HO under the Hyderabad chapter's name, which have been collected over many terms now, and we are supposedly one of the most financially strong chapter, and I think it's not for just like that. I think all of you deserve a round of applause for this. You've been such a support to the entire, including our trade partners. I think they deserve the biggest round because they are the people who bring in the money into the organization. So I think that is great. And really it's and we look forward to seeing all these supports in so many more terms to come. And and the whole idea was to set up this center of excellence, which is going to be a reality very soon. You'll all see that happening. So now I would request one of our members to approve the audited reports which were presented, statement of accounts. If you can request one of the members to approve the accounts. Yeah. So a very senior member, Mr. Raj Sriram, has agreed to approve and propose, and I would want someone who can second the thing. So again, a very senior member, first Praful Modi, architect Praful Modi has seconded. So it's done. So I can now, I think since we've done this, now it's my turn to just bore you a little bit with a little bit of my speech. This is the last GBM, though it's not the last time I'm going to see you on stage. Because as per the constitution, I would just make it very clear. A lot of people were thinking that today the new team is going to take over and all. So the only thing is that, this is as per the constitution that the day before, only when we resign or we step aside as the team, will the new election process start, number one. And till the time the new team comes in, we would have all of us be the caretakers for the term until the new committee will come, which according to the constitution has to be between the 1st to the 15th of September is when the new term has to get started. So there'll be a gap of 2 months for the election process. So this is where we'll be still, engaging with all the members, and we already have events lined up for this month and the next. So yeah, I would just like to now, it's not my parting speech, but I still, this is the formal platform where I would want to address all of you as chairman for the term 2021-2023. It's been really nice, and I think leadership is not about just holding a position. It's about inspiring and empowering others to reach their full potential. It's about fostering an environment, that encourages collaboration, creativity, and innovation. So I think that's what we've strived to do. I'm sure that, it's all the time we have very high expectations from our own selves when we take up positions. But I'm very sure that, there are so many more gaps to be filled. Honestly, I feel every time there is always a chance to improve. And, we always feel that given another turn, I'll do it better or I'll do it differently. So there have been issues with the term. The one biggest issue which I can point out is that for this entire term, we could not come out with our Insider magazine. So, it's something which we didn't want to do, but it happened because we had multiple issues with the people who were trying to compile the issue for us. We changed 3 agencies. They kept telling us we are doing. Finally, I think Pallavi has really been struggling, and we should really appreciate the amount of effort she's done in making sure that at least the first issue of Insider and probably the next issue of Insider would also be released in the next two months. So we will have something. So instead of being an introduction to the MC, it will probably be the introduction to the MC who served you. So it's like that, but I think it's nice. And as leaders, we always strive to nurture and guide our members in recognizing their full talents and harnessing them to make sure that as a collective we do better for this organization. And I think together we all embraced all the challenges, overcame obstacles, and I think we achieved some amount of success. So I think that's what it is. And I think during this term we all witnessed the power of the teamwork. We've always been working, but I think the power comes alive when we all realize that as even a member who just comes to attend an event, that itself is teamwork. And I think we are all united by a common purpose and passion to make sure that, the design and this fraternity goes next level. I think we are all there as a backup to the fraternity. And we've exchanged ideas, supported each other in enriching the profession and the personal lives as well. I think we always call IID as a large family. That's what we always do. We always say that, this is a large family. And as the African proverb goes, that if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go together. And that's how, the power of together is what I've learned to be in IID. And the results speak. IID Hyderabad has been the blue eye and the chapter which every other chapter looks up to as inspiration. I think that's something. And as we transition to the new leadership and to a new chapter in IID, the importance of continuity is so important. As our organization's legacy lies in the hands of those who continue to work, the work which has already begun 27 years ago. It's essential that we nurture and support the new leadership, ensure a seamless transition, and continue to support them for their commitment to excellence. And I have every confidence in the vision, the passion, the dedication, the expertise of our incoming chairperson, Architect Pallavi Anchuri. A big round of applause to her. She's been really working alongside the entire team and making sure that she will again take Hyderabad HRC to greater heights and undoubtedly will lead the chapter to new horizons. And I think we just need to also reflect on ourselves that for the future of this industry, we have a responsibility. We have to inspire and guide the next generation of architects and designers. It's been very heartwarming that, over the last 1 year itself, we've made 67 new members and 34 membership forms are just getting approved by the center. So it's like a century of members. We've hit a century of members, new members at Hyderabad. And many of them are here with us to, come onto the stage and take their certificate. So that's another great thing which has happened, that we keep inspiring people to join both as trade and as designers. And we also need to create opportunities for them to learn and grow and shine, because Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change this world. I think that's what we are doing. We are just changing the world with education, and education does not mean going to college. I think as designers, we've all learned that every day is a learning, and we are all, students of our profession. So that's also very important. And then to the young and aspiring architects, we would like to say that we believe in you. We recognize your potential, which was so evident in the awards which were held last time. Amazing work with new practices, very young practices doing great work. And I think we continue to make sure that these people are encouraged to come forward and, make presentations at various forums and, make contributions to our industry. And I think together we can do whatever best we can do. And as my term comes to a close, I really need to express my deepest of gratitude to each one of you, including starting from my family, my 2 daughters, my wife. I think I've just been away from home, not even as a guest. Guests also come home sometimes. I've just been like a vagabond, juggling between my practice, IID, and also this time, let me tell you that, at the national level, we have 32 centers and chapters, and for the first time, each of the chapters worked so hard to do certain great events in the term, and there were 16 showcases. So the showcase is an event like what we do in CyberX. So for every term, there is one showcase event which each chapter should do. Up till now, only 5 or 6 chapters used to do it on and off, we being one of them, obviously. And then this time, there were 16 showcases which happened across smaller centers and chapters. And as a chapter chairperson, we are supposed to be invited, and it's nice to go there and inspire them and contribute. So there has also been a lot of travel for some of us to other chapters. So that's been the support I've got from my team. They've always encouraged me. So also great gratitude to all our trade partners. I always keep them at the forefront because if you're sitting in this hall today paying the bills of this entire show, it's because of two committed trade partners who've come forward and, said that, yes, we support this IID. To my entire managing committee team, they have been extremely wonderful. I've had one of the best times. So I always speak, you clap for me, but I think the claps are all for my 10 members sitting behind me and, really working very hard. And behind those 10 members are at least 40 to 50 members of the core working group. Also my mentors, they have been extremely, and when I say mentors and advisors, so we have official advisors, but we've got so many people who just keep calling you up, encouraging you. I can pick up a phone, talk, all the past chairpersons. I think we've just been so fortunate that our past chairs have been, I think, the only reason that IIT Hyderabad does so well. And I think a round of applause to each and every past chairperson who absolutely are so connected to this baby. They have, given birth to every time a chairperson has come and added so much more value to this term and to the terms they have led, and they still continue to add that value. So I think it's been an honor and privilege to lead this team and term. And, I just end, I think we can accomplish together. I think that's the whole catchword, that together we can accomplish and strive under and thrive under the new leadership. And warm welcome to the incoming team and best wishes, and thank you so much. So I think I would know if there are any questions from the members. I think we can take up any questions related to any other matter which was presented, the report, the audited results, the accounts. If anyone has any questions to ask, we can take up questions. Any matter you want to discuss with the permission of the chair, I think you can. If anyone has any questions. So thank you. So I would first now request our Honorary Secretary, Architect Praveen Kumar, to express the vote of thanks.
Yeah, on behalf of the organizing committee.
So sorry, we have the chapter, the agenda of labeling the pins on the members. We can do that after we close the meeting. I think we can do that, right? We close the meeting, we stand up, and then we'll move the table and we'll label the pins. Yeah.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend heartfelt vote of thanks for your presence and participation in our last general body meeting. Your active involvement and valuable contributions have made this gathering a resounding success. Our sincere appreciation goes out to each member who took the time to attend the active participate. Lastly, we express our gratitude to our organizing committee members who diligently planned and executed this term. We have taken a significant step forward in achieving our shared vision. Let us continue to collaborate and work towards the betterment of our organization. Thank you once again, and we look forward to your continued support and active participation in our future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. So I now call the 28th last general body meeting for this term 2021-2023 to a close. Thank you, everyone. So I think now we can, I may request all the members who are present here who joined this organization in the last 1 year. Srinath will be calling out the names, and I can request some of our senior members sitting here, Nivedita Bose ma'am, Shushmita will be announcing the names. If for the first few certificates, ma'am, please come for the thing. And along with you, I can request Narasimhan Garu to come on the stage. So we have a few people. So we have architect. No, we'll first call. So come, ma'am, for the first round, ma'am. Two for just come up on the stage. Narasimhan sir, please come. So we also have amongst us a very old IIT member who's now also the chairperson of the IIA Telangana chapter. So a round of applause to Narasimhan for his second term as a chairperson, and we look forward to a huge round of collaboration for this term with IIA and IIT because we synergize so well. Thank you. So, ma'am, you can read the names. Yeah.
I'll read I'll call out the names, and whoever is present, I would request you to please come forward for the pinning of the label pins. To start with, we have Hunar Kaur, Ms. Hunar Kaur, Mr. K.M. Asim, Ms. Radhika Prasad, Mr. Venkat Satyanarayana, Mr. Dheeraj Dasyam, Ms. Harun, Amara Harun, Ms. Sanjana Madan, Ms. Deepika, Mr. Nikhil Kumar Agarwal, Ms. Roja, Ms. Soumya, Ms. Divya Chaudhary Yalamanchili, Ms. Parul Agarwal, Mr. Rishabh Agarwal, Ms. Monica Devaki. Okay, you're Rishabh Agarwal. Please come forward. Thank you so much, Rishabh. Mr. Sridhar Reddy, Ms. Kavyashri, Ms. Manisha, Ms. Madhuri, Mr. Ramesh Kumar, Ms. Pragati Srivastav, please come forward, yeah. Careful. Just a second. Pragati Srivastav. Mr. Anil Kumar, thank you. Mr. Anil Kumar. Thank you so much, Nivedita ma'am, and thank you so much, Narsimham sir. May I now request Mr. Raj Sriram and architect Ram Gopal to please come forward for labeling the pins, or for pinning the labeling pins. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Dilip Kumar, Mr. Ram Narayan. Okay, Dilip Kumar, please come. Mr. Ram Narayan. Mr. Ayush Jain. Thank you. Mr. Shrey Verma. Mr. Nagraju Mundrai. Mr. Sai Venkatramana. Mr. Ashok Behri. Ms. Bhanushri Prakash. Mr. Ashok Behri. Ms. Bhanushri Prakash. Mr. Mr. Nishant. Mrs. Ruxana. Ms. Sri Nandini. Ruxana is here. It's 15 more. Thank you so much, sir.
Can invite architect Salim Qureshi sir to come on stage for the labeling of the pin. Sir, can you stand for some time, sir? Salim Qureshi sir. And along with him, I can request architect Udaya Shankar Dhoni sir, please come.
Problem, right? Yeah, but he was using his walking stick.
Yeah, now he's better.
Welcome, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
Remember?
Of course I do.
Yeah, we did.
Miss Monica. Thank you. Ms. Sri Nandini, Mr. Abhishek Agarwal, Mr. Ashok Kumar Agarwal, Mr. Pramod Kumar, Mr. Kartikeya Sharma, Ms. Saida Samiha Mariam, Mr. C.H. Vishal, Ms. Melvin Josh, Mr. Anosh, Mr. Mahesh Babu, Ms. Purvi Modi, Mr. Manojav Srinivas, Ms. Manasa Reddy, Mr. Azharuddin Sheikh, Mr. Rohit Kant, and Mr. Srihari D. Okay, that's the total count, like the total names. Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you. I think welcome to the IID fold, all the people, and look forward to seeing you all in all our future events, and also looking for your participation with the IID activities. Thank you. Mr. Dinesh from Seating World. Dinesh. Very good evening. Welcome everyone. बोल के बोलो.
दोनों है seating world sir. Manav and Sandhya. Manav and Sandhya.
They are coming from Seating World for the presentation.
Once again, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute honor and privilege to be amidst such a lovely audience. I, Architect Sushmita Subudhi, on behalf of IID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, take this opportunity to welcome you all for the fellowship meeting, followed by the keynote address by Architect GOPA MENON. It's been 2 years since the investiture ceremony for the session 2021-23, under the very able chairperson, Architect Manoj Wahi, and his very energetic and dynamic management committee. As we all are moving towards the end of this term, we have made many memories. The last 2 years were extremely exciting, engaging, and eventful, with events ranging from store launches, tours, I3, I5 series, movie screening, the very exciting Insider X Showcase 2022, Halfway Design Awards, quiz, workshop, exhibition, sports meet, celebrations, and many more. IIT HRC is undoubtedly the most sought after chapter. Thanks to each one of you for your bit, for contributing your bit, which has made indeed a lot of difference. Thanks a lot for making it here, and we are forever grateful to each one of you. Yeah, a big round of applause for the team 21-23. It's been indeed a great journey, and we all are going to cherish it forever. Before we take this event any further, the first sponsor for the evening, Seating World. We would like to request Mr. Manav and Ms. Sandhya to come forward to give their presentation. A big round of applause for our sponsors for the evening, without whom this is just not possible.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Hello and a very good evening to one and all present here. I'm Manav and this is Sandhya. We, on behalf of Seating World, would like to take this opportunity to let you all know that along with IIIT, it's Seating World's 25th Silver Jubilee anniversary as well. And we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you present here today.
So we at Seating World have been offering complete furniture solutions for corporate and homes since 1998. Our expertise are known how in providing accurate solutions sets us apart. Our product offerings for office spaces include loose furniture, cafe furniture, outdoor seating, pods, modular, locking systems, glass partitions, and carpet floorings. So we are based in Hyderabad, and our showroom space expands over 60,000 square feet, while our manufacturing unit is about 1 lakh square feet, where we manufacture a variety of bespoke furniture ranging from cafeteria furniture, laundry furniture, and modular furniture.
We now have a short presentation for you all. Hope you like it. Thank you. So I'd like to take this opportunity to let you all know that behind you, we have a few steel case chairs and Shaw contract, catalogs. So we'd like you to have a look and feel of it. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sandhya and Mr. Manav. And this is where I would like to request our past chairperson, Ravi Anchuri sir, and Honorary to please come forward and felicitate them. Please come. Thank you so much. And now the moment we are all waiting for, the keynote address by the keynote speaker. So we have a very special guest, architect GOPA MENON, amidst us, who will be taking us through his inspiring journey, a glimpse of which we have already experienced at JNFAU. So it will be a pleasure to hear you again, here for the rest of them for sure. I request, sir, before I call GOPA MENON, sir, I request our Joint Honorary Secretary, Architect Naveen Chalsani, to come forward and introduce, sir. A huge round of applause, please.
Yeah, good evening. Architect GOPA MENON, graduated from BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore in 1991 with bachelor's degree in architecture. He honed his craft working with reputed Bangalore practices through his student in the years. He worked as an associate architect with Mystery Architects for 7 years before moving to Dubai to work in the exhibition design. Upon his return in Bangalore in 2001, he reunited with his old friends Ajit and Rajiv to form Parix. His core strength lies in the design of private homes and home interiors. Architect Gopan and Parix has been the recipient of numerous awards and accolades over the years. Parix has been featured in the Architectural Digest's most influential design firms, listing a number of times. They also have been awarded in Indian Institution of Interior Design Excellence Prize in multiple occasions. And one of the main projects like Grass Havel, Jodhpur has been designed by them and was awarded the Best Holiday Design and the Building of the Year as a World Architecture Festival in Barcelona in 2011. Now I welcome Architect Gopan Menon to be on the dais. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. I'm Gopa Menon. To the sponsors for getting me here and enabling this very brief and frank talk, I hope. I basically was taken to the university in the afternoon and let loose on the students, and I basically ended up talking for about an hour and a half. So on the way back, I've been asked to kind of keep it brief. So I will try and be as brief as possible. But at the same time, I would like to show you a little bit about our office. So this is a picture of the team that we currently is basically the dress up for our Secret Santa, which happens every December. A few glimpses, a few pictures of our office, which is really our pride and joy because we took our time to get inspired and design and build it over a period of about 3 or 4 years. And this is what currently houses the team at Praxis. So pictures of people here working late into the night. Glimpses of the workstations And that's my cabin, and that's my pet dog on the sofa, Susie, and a glimpse of our building from the outside. Again, views of the studio and the cabins that we have. So the Praxis office was loosely kind of inspired during a Sri Lankan trip that my partners and I made together. And of course, the architecture of Bhawa, Anjalendran, and the other architects there inspired us so much with their simplistic palette and their, approach towards views and spaces. So this is something that has kind of stayed with us to this day, and led us to create this very modestly finished building which now houses our office. So a few pictures of the pets that we have at the office. So the Sri Lankan led to a great learning experience, which we eventually distilled into 3 keywords, which has pretty much shaped all of our work going forward. And the 3 keywords are spaces, senses, and the arts within. So spaces that suit the end user and comfort them, spaces that elicit a connection with the senses, and spaces that form an effective vessel for a strong context via art and craft. So these are glimpses from a few of our projects, which I felt evokes all those 3 keywords. Moving on to the projects that have been chosen have been selected randomly from my memory as being the ones that probably elicited maximum collaboration from us. This is an office space that we have. So we have a series of office spaces and retail spaces, ending with a residential space. So Dentsu is a workspace that we have designed for one of the verticals of the Japanese media giant Dentsu. So the building was at that time, so this is a project that we completed about 8 years ago. The building was a 15-year-old building in a slightly, dilapidated condition. And I guess these people took it over because it was coming cheap. The rents were cheap. The floor space was cheap. So they decided to take up the building and renovate it. So we stepped in, and I think the first thing that we did was to remove all the walls in between, because towards 3 sides, they had lovely light coming in and they had pretty decent views. So we wanted to create more of an open office plan, rather than something that was, had built-in spaces towards the middle. So we opened up the walls. We ordered the central space, the open plan office space, using these gridded structures, which basically helped segregate the various departments of the hierarchy. And the hollow grids also carry services to all the desks, apart from fostering, a communicative workspace. So different views of the workspace. The cabins are all encased in glass so that as much light as possible filters towards the central open office plan. Now, this being an ad agency also had very creative graphic designers, so we were pretty overjoyed to have worked with them and developed their own form of art, which was in terms of movie posters and postcards and placards that they kind of designed and use as displays to personalize their workspaces. So the breakout areas here with its cafe, and of course some humor in the washroom. We move on to the next workspace which we designed, and this was in Bombay. this was an office called Studio 5B. And for the first time, our clients were also designers. So these guys, Studio 5B, were basically an integral part of Dr. Reddy's labs, and they were hired by Dr. Reddy's to design their medical apparatus, medical literature, and also implement a design thinking process into their processes. So Param, who was the head of Studio 5B, came into Praxis to meet us, and the first thing he said after looking at our offices was that I want an office that is an un-office. He didn't want his office to look like an office or even feel like one. So we basically ended up giving him a large living room space, which perfectly suits their random way of working, their very informal way of working. Most of the designers work on laptops, on these couches and other seating, that random seating, very casual seating that we have designed for them. We were fortunate enough to locate unusually high volume, which is very rare in Mumbai, but this place had a 14-foot high ceiling, which helped us locate the services at a height, and we almost always end up avoiding the false ceiling because we like to make maximum use of the height that we have. So in this case, the ceilings and the beams, the structural members were all painted white along with the services, so kind of making that ceiling element and the services disappear. So these so-called living rooms are basically multifunctional spaces. We have these movable panels, the white panel that you see on the left side, which has tracks at the bottom and tracks which are suspended from the top, which move to create partitions and to partition spaces in case of privacy, in case of the need for privacy, and also function as whiteboards. Another view of another working space that we have created. This is basically a cafe ledge which looks out onto the views over South Bombay. The only formal desking space was required by the accounts department. So we humored their request, created formal desking, storage, and a copier machine which kind of takes care of the accounts department. That's the informal conference room / cafe. We move on to Aquarel. Aquarel is a working space for a garments company that we work closely with. We have designed their manufacturing premises also a little away from Bangalore, but this was their city office. So the whole interior scheme, including the colors, is basically a montage of the manufacturing process of the garments of this industry. So you see designer sketches of the garment designers interpreted as partitions for cabins. On the floor, you have custom designed cement tiles or Athangudi tiles, as you would call them, which kind of reflect the 3 types of stitches that are used in a garment process, in the tailoring process. We've used parts of a container, of a shipping container, which is also part of the process because that's what sends the garments that are manufactured outside of the country. So we've used that as parts of cabins. We had the engineers, the process engineers, write out the workflow things on, black painted walls. Here again, you have an example of the 2 stitches that are used. Glass cabins help bring daylight into the center of the space. A shipping container side again for the conference room, and also a chipboard kind of insert. Chipboard is basically also used to make the cartons which send the garments abroad. And here you have chipboard used as a ceiling. So basically the whole interior scheme revolves around elements from the process which have basically integrated into the office scheme. Moving on, we come to Bon Vivant, which is a furniture showroom that we designed for this reputed plywoods manufacturer who had gotten into the furniture business. So Bon Vivant is the name of the enterprise, and this is basically, we had a slightly darkened lobby which hardly had any light coming in, and we used that to create this, moving from the dark to the light, where the space was only lit up by the signage. Moving in, we wanted to, we had this very high volume again here. There was a 15-foot volume that we wanted to use to the maximum. So as is our general habit, the services were all located close to the ceiling, painted dark, and the services and the ceiling were made to disappear visually. The display of the furniture and the allied products, in this case wooden planked wooden flooring, were used as installations suspended from the ceiling via cables. Appropriate settings were created for the period furniture. So these were the pavilions that we created for the different furniture setting. So very similar to what one would probably see in a trade show. We had created these small pavilions which housed the particular room setting. So in this case, this is a complete bedroom setting. And the 4-meter height that we had assumed intentionally for the pavilion also helped display a 3.3 meter high veneer, which was new at that time. Normally veneer is available in 2.4 meters. So here you see another view of the plywood display, the furniture display, and the wooden planking used at the back as wall art. So this space also leads to a mezzanine workspace. So this is the simple staircase that kind of takes you there. Yes. Moving on, this is a house that we handed over just a few months ago. This is, so we've designed the house as well as the interiors of the space. The house is located in Jaipur. This is the elevation from the outside. And as you can see, the house and the elevation basically responds to the local context and the climate. The internal main walls of the house have been set in intentionally so that the impact of the heat falling on them is reduced. We have also created a jalied kind of enclosure on top, which is on the terrace, which contains the entertainment areas, so which helps to reduce the heat impact on the roof of the floor above. Another view of the elevation, you see the walls set in, the timber cladding that's been given for the roof for the contrast. And then you have these colonnades which have been created to echo the prevalent Rajasthani context. The opulent interiors here, white marble, polished teak. The client here is a rugs manufacturer. He manufactures rugs for exports. So we've used a lot of his custom collection here. Different parts of the house, the bedrooms with the ensuite, the media room, and a night view of the exterior. Bhartiya Jalpan is basically a sweet shop, sweet and chaat shop now, which was founded in 1945 and rooted in Guwahati. So they have 3 branches. They had 2 branches in Bangalore before they came to us. And the brief that we got from the client was to basically help and put in the history of the brand with respect to their location and their founding very strongly into the interior screen. So this is what was a result of all that ideation and the client's brief. So we translated the, the locational provenance with respect to brick cladding and the patterns that we created in brick, which is very prevalent in Guwahati in the northeast. Suites are all about festivities and celebration. So we tend to, so we've done these festive bunting and pennants that you see on the left, which is the red flags that are hanging from the ceiling. The entry into the central space, which houses the suites display. So we've kind of treated the suites display similar to a jewelry store experience, since this is the prized product of the brand. Another view of the suites display and the dining areas. Move on to Fu, which is another dining experience. This is basically a brand from Bombay, which is a pan-Asian tapas destination, which is very popular in Bombay. And this is the first iteration of theirs in Bangalore. So the brief from the client asked us to incorporate the brand identity very strongly and the brand colors very strongly into the design scheme. So, you can see the, the logo and the color scheme in their signage there. And we have tried and echoed the colors very successfully into the whole scheme. So incorporating the Asian motif via the colors was one of the easy things. So, but we wanted to take it a little further. So after a bit of research, we came to this one element, which is a kawara tile, which is nothing but, which means nothing but baked clay tile in Japanese. So we assumed that pattern and then extrapolated it and changed it to the image that you see on the right side, which we have then ended up using in a lot of ways, as ceiling panels, as part of the design of the doors, as a cladding for the front of the bar, and as a back panel behind the bonke seatings. So this is a view of the formal indoor dining space. So the Asian theme, the heightened Asian theme interpreted by the color. You have the deep reds. We have the kawara tile, which forms the alcove above the seating. We have the abstracted design of the kawara tile on the ceiling, which acts as, and which is mounted with handmade grass mats, which helps bounce ambient light down on towards the dining space. Sorry. Another view. So another interpretation of how the lights could also be made into a ceiling element. So they're basically rice mats, woven rice mats, used as a lamp. So you see the images here. Now this is the way to the bar on the first floor and the outdoor dining. So on the left, we have a very heightened red reflective surface via glass panels. And on the right side, we have a modified lantern design, which we've kind of executed using Chanpatna craftsmen to give it that local identity. So you come up to the first floor and you have the Kavara motif, which kind of helps heighten the, the wall of the bar. Also as, kind of giving clues as to the provenance of the whole thing. We have the lamp fixtures, which helps to animate the ceiling. Another view. On the left side, we have the outdoor seating. On the right side is the bar. Now coming to the last project, this was a very exciting project for us because it was a project type which we had never worked on before. So this was basically a startup business. And the main business was to sell used or refurbished cars in a big way as a marketplace, not just as, 4 or 5 models displayed in a space for random buyers to walk in. This was an organized marketplace for used and refurbished cars, and it housed the complete setup with meeting spaces, marketing office, sales offices. So the front part of the building, which is covered in glass, and also panels. These were basically powder-coated metal panels that had the brand's colors all over, which also helped as sun breakers. We had this branding wall at the back, which basically separated the front and the back of house. So the front of house was the marketing and sales offices, and behind the partition was the pre-engineered building that housed the 500 cars that would be displayed there. Other views of the office. Internal views of the staircase taking you to the first floor of the office with a very simple palette of materials. The first floor of the marketing office, you see the accessories display and the cabins which housed the sales and marketing executives, with very strong emphasis on the logo. Workspaces, and the descent into the car display. So the descent into the car display was via this helical staircase, which becomes a feature with the, with the brightly lit G, signifying Giga, which becomes a selfie spot. It works very well for his marketing purposes because people who end up buying the cars get their photo taken along, alongside the G, and it straight away goes into your Instagram, giving them publicity as well as the seller, as well as Giga. Another view of the office spaces. A night view of the front part of the office. And thank you. I think it's this one. There's one here. Yep.
Thank you so much, Architect GOPA Menon, sir.
My pleasure.
Since I've already heard him at JNFAU, I heard a more elaborate version of what I just now heard. But with every slide which was clicking through, I just knew what was there for each one of them.
Right. Thank you.
So now to take it forward, we have the question and answer session. We'll be taking up questions. Whoever has a question, please raise your hand. The mic will be passed on to you, and then you can ask your question. Any question from the audience?
I think my wife wants the mic. She wants to know how many hours, and is this what I spent doing so many hours away from home?
No, I just have
like to use, which is very pure cement finishes. Polished cement and grey stone is what we love.
Oh, your works are very good.
I'm sorry?
The works are very good.
Yes.
But
thank you.
This is the only thing I found.
Okay.
It's very soothing to use softer tones.
Yes.
I wish you use more of those.
Well, there are projects. Generally in residential projects, we do end up using brighter, tones. Like white is very predominant in homes.
Yeah.
But I think I showed you only one of the homes that we've designed.
I see.
And I think all the ceilings and walls were white in this.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And there was a lot of art bringing out softer colors also. So it's just a choice. You're probably seeing my favorite choice of projects,
No, that's my way of thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Gopa. This is Manoj.
Hi, Manoj.
So we heard that you are three of you.
Yes.
So how do you run your practice? Who takes care of what, and how does praxis? We want to understand how praxis works. You have 45 plus people, three principal architects.
Yeah.
So how does this all work?
Well, yes. Well, initially when we started off, it was just the three of us. We did collaborate a lot jointly on every project that we got. But over the years, as we grew, we also realized, so not to say that we did not have our areas of speciality in the very beginning itself. I've basically worked the most at Shahrukh Mistri's office. So my grounding is in homes. So I'm the one who designs the homes that we get in the office by default because of my expertise in homes. My partner Ajit, who is actually a number cruncher, is excellent when it comes to doing real estate work. So he's the one who handles all the gridded, projects like apartments and, hospitals and hotels and stuff. Rajiv is, well, Aparna knows him very well. He's a little moody, would prefer to work on projects where there are no clients or the client interaction is very minimum. So he ends up working on the hospitality projects, the restaurants and the hotels, hotel interiors that we work on. So this is how we divide the projects. So each of us have our own teams, and when a project comes into the office, the partners have a discussion about it, but the person who has made contact with the client is the one that takes the project forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you, sir, the clients give you some idea concept or you give out of box, or I can put it this way, which client which you did out of box gave you freedom and you enjoyed the project?
So all the projects that you saw today are the ones where we had total client freedom, except the house, because houses, you know, are very personal and ultimately it's the client who has to live in it the most, you know. And we are there just for that couple of years when we are facilitating the build. So when it comes to, I would say, residential projects, homes, or even you know, apartment interiors, the client's brief is paramount to us. We, of course, try to kind of explain our sensibilities with respect to his requirements and hope that we go through it, but there's always a compromise. There's always a compromise. As I mentioned in the afternoon, the commercial projects are basically what lead to a lot of out-of-the-box thinking.
Good evening, sir. We are very happy to know that you brought us this prestigious award of WAF to India in 2011 from Barcelona. So can you share some experiences so that that would really help for the next generation architects to stand up to the world platform?
I don't have any.
That's okay, but you can share your just experience.
Okay, sure. So yes, so the Ras Haveli project, which we completed in 2009. So the project came to us sometime in 2007. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare for it, so I don't have the pictures for it. Is it possible to show if I email it to you? Is that possible? Yeah? Yeah, yeah.
You have enough time, GOPA, so you can take your time.
Oh, okay, so I basically raced through my presentation.
Fellowship time by normal standards. They're not yet 9. No, but it's okay. 10 minutes. Yeah, we can. You know who's in charge of bar? That right.
Who can I send it to? Oh, okay, I'll send it to you. This one, Srinath, no? Oh, this is the man.
Yeah,
He's Srinath. Okay.
Any other question without the RAS, really we can answer. Any other question without costing? Meanwhile, we'll engage you. Yeah. So basically costing. So you all thought, most of your interiors are very super luxurious, or you only showed us some of those because, how do you convince customers to spend so much on nearly every project? Because we find it very tough, when it comes to, though they like the concept, but they don't want to spend that money. And whatever we saw, the craft, what you've used doesn't come cheap, right? So if you're trying to detail out very minute details, and all these craftsmen, they're very pricey and you need to pay for that finish because everything is like a new product design. It's nothing picked up off the shelf. So how do you end up controlling the costs?
Well, the costs are always, a big issue to discuss, always. We do try and indicate, a relative cost for the project at the end of the second concept design that we do. So the second concept design that we do kind of ends up with a finalized plan and all the 3Ds required for the client to understand the project. So at the end of that, we kind of share a single line estimate with them, which gives them a very broad idea of the cost. And which we have kind of factored in pretty well, except for unforeseen increases in material costs. Clients, we have noticed home clients is where we usually have overshoots on the budgets. And there are clients who also kind of go back on what they've agreed on because they do end up spending more on other areas. Sometimes they end up building, a larger area, a larger footprint than they envisaged. And we have people going back on the spends. So it's a lot of give and take. I think all of us are used to it. We know how to handle it pretty well. The other point that you talked about, the craftsmen, yes, I think they deserve all the money that they get because, their craft all over is pretty much a dying art. And, I feel that they deserve all the money that they get. But there are always, again, there's a give and take between the client and the craftsman. So there are shortcuts that the craftsmen take with respect to, the final outcome of the product. Yeah.
And does the budget sometimes hinder your creativity? Suppose this project is on very tight budget.
Sure.
So do you look at it in a completely different way? Because then sometimes, the creativity has to be, because when you're so used to doing what you want to do and convince customers about it, but when you're, definitely this budget won't work. So how do you then justify and still come up with something which you don't think that you have compromised on in terms of the final output?
Well, if you did, notice that most of the projects, and I think the biggest of them was the last project, which is Giga. Giga was 1.5 lakh square feet, and we actually finished it under budget, because the client also assisted in procuring vendors who were willing to do it, in a particular amount of time for a lesser cost. Like the bare structure of the PEB building at the rear, which housed the car displays, the cost fell by almost 300 rupees a square foot, so which in itself was a big saving. And I'm sure you noticed that the interiors, the finishes were all very, very, supremely humble there. It was all very simple finishes. The floor finish was nothing but epoxy paint, and we had used slotted angles to create most of the furniture there. So that was a project that we actually managed to finish under budget. So the clients do help, obviously, because it is in his interest. But I feel that this can largely be achieved only in commercial projects, where the expectation on the finish is not so high. When it comes to residential or a private home, the expectations of the finish and the craftsman or the worker to provide that level of finish is very high. So it's the homes that always go above budget. Right. So as I mentioned earlier, Ras Haveli is a project that came to us in 2007. And this again, Manoj, was a project on a very tight budget. It's a 2-acre site in the old city of Jodhpur and probably was one of the few last empty sites within the old city. The premiumness of the site came from the fact that the glorious view, the end view from the site was the Mehranga Fort up on the hill, and which was deemed enough to make the project successful in the future. And the client, who was a relative of the Raja there, realized the potential, and he's the one who took the site on a lease for 30 years and started the project. So it was probably one of the most interesting projects that we had to work on, purely because of the existence of the old structures on the site. So we had no idea that the old structures existed because most of them had been plastered over multiple times and painted over, that we had taken the call to demolish the structure. It's when one of the karigars actually chipped off a corner of the building that it exposed the red chital stone that was, and the art that was below. So the project was, everyone was at site. The client was living at site. He decided to live at the site till the project was done. Architects from our associates from the office and the partner, the collaborative partner that we had in Delhi, their office were camped at site. So it was pretty much an on-site project. The broad designing was done in the offices, the 3Ds were created, but changes were happening every day. And this was probably, where we actually used the phones a lot, and we were clicking pictures, sending it across by email, and reverting back with sketches on the photographs and things like that. So that way it was a very intense project. It got over on time and it was true to budget, which is very difficult to believe when you see it, because it's targeted as a super luxury 40-suite hotel. So the interventions, the new interventions on the site, not sure if the pictures, were largely the 30 rooms that we created, and all of these slides are part of that 30-room structure. And for us, the local red chital stone that was available not more than 40 or 50 kilometers away became the main material to create this. So with respect to, one second. Yes. So with respect to all of these slides, I'll just explain a bit briefly on each of these slides. So the first slide is basically the view from the rooms towards the Mehranga Fort after, the lighting comes on. The right side, the second image to the right, is basically the outdoor dining that was created on the rooftop of the existing stables of the property. The last view is a very cleverly kind of conjured up mirror installation that gives the people who are facing away from the fort a view of the fort. And the two pictures on the left and the middle here are the interiors of the Baradari, or the 12-door structure which houses the all-day dining. The slide on the left, on the top left, is basically the covered part of the dining above the stables. This image left corner is basically the red chital stone and the design that we had evolved for, similar to beaten copper vessels, and a concentric jali work that we had designed. The one in the middle is a restored structure as is, with as minimal interventions as possible. That is a view through one of the arches towards the new structure of one of the arches of the Baradari towards the new structure that we had created. So the jali covered building at the back is basically that 30-room structure that we had created. So these are all views of the rooms. That last image is the room corridor through which you access the rooms. The one in the bottom, the middle, is basically the view of the bath towards the fort through the jali. So as you see, all views are directed towards the fort, and this is what makes it one of the most sought after, hotels in Jodhpur. Other views of the city suite, painted blue. So the whole combination of the project structures are in red chital stone and this whitewash, the blue whitewash that is used all over the city. Even the bed headboard is in the red chital stone, which has backlighting. So this, the first two slides probably exemplifies what we were setting out to create. We wanted parts of the building to look very much like what was outside the site, which is, it was basically a designed image of the random buildings that were present outside the site, which were in a combination of the chital stone and the blue plaster. Yes, I think that's all the slides that I have. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
I think he has a question.
Oh, you have a question?
Good evening, sir.
Hi.
Sir, I have seen all your slides very carefully. I just wanted to have one question here. Like, with regards to the loose furniture part, do you have some set vendors or you get it customized?
In which project? All the projects or?
Yeah, basically that hotel ones and all those things.
I'm sorry?
The restaurants, the seating areas, the lobby areas, all those things.
In the hotel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those were all made at site with using craftsmen that were available nearby.
So you mean it is customized?
It is customized.
So you don't have any set vendors?
No, we do have vendors, but on this particular project, it was done by the craftsmen close to the site.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking that extra pin and then showing another project of yours, which was a miss. Otherwise, which we did not get to see in JNFU. I'm sorry, I'm referring to JNFU over and over because I have seen it all, and then it was a very nice presentation there as well. At this point, I would like to call upon the past chairperson, Architect Siraj Hassan sir, Architect Reenu Hassan ma'am, Architect Qasim Ali Khan sir, and Architect Manoj Bhai. I request all of you to please come forward to felicitate the speaker for the evening, Architect GOPA
Pleasure
Menon
to
sir.
meet you. Yeah. We've met in Bangalore, but that was a long time ago. Yeah. I think we've met in Shah Rukh's office also. Yeah, probably.
I also request Mrs. GOPA Menon to please come forward and then join Sir on stage. Please come. We request all the managing committee members and the past chairperson to please come and join us on the stage. And also the advisory members. Sir is prompting from here, so I'm just repeating. All the past chairperson, the managing committee members, and the advisory members, please join us on the stage. Thank you so much, sir. Now the second sponsor for the evening is Madhusudan Marble. Is anybody present from that particular group by any chance? Madhusudan Marble? Okay, fine. So the flight got delayed, it seems. The person who was going to represent Madhusudan Marbles could not make it here. And we have a AV, and that's something we're going to play now. So this is where I would also like to mention that Seating World has already given their presentation, being our first sponsor for the evening. And they have put their works, the steel case furniture, on display at the entrance. We would request you to please have a look at it, because there are people who are going to give you a demonstration and will give you a complete experience of the kind of products and furniture range they have. Now at this point, I would like to request our Honorary Secretary N. Praveen Kumar Nune to please come forward to propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah, good evening. On behalf of the entire team at IIIT Hyderabad, I stand here today to express our deepest gratitude and extend heartfelt vote of thanks for making our recent fellowship meet a success. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to architect GOPA MENON for his insightful and captivating session. And we are grateful for the time and effort you dedicated to making this event a remarkable one. None of this would have been possible without generous support of our sponsors, Seating World and Madhusudan Marble, who contributed to the success of the fellowship meet. The special note of appreciation goes out to Park Hyatt, the gracious hosted our fellowship meet. We extend our sincere gratitude to the entire staff for their immense service and warm hospitality. Lastly, thanks to the audience for being a part of this fellowship meet. Your presence and active participation has made this event truly special. We hope that the knowledge, shared the connections, will continue to inspire and empower each one of you in your professional journeys. We look forward to many more such enriching experiences in the future. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, so I can request all our members, if they can just come on stage, we can have a large group picture. This is the last GBM of the term. If you can all come on the stage, we have a very large setup here, 2 rows. Let's all get one nice big picture. Vijay Sriram sir, come. Suleiman bhai, All of you, please join us on stage. We'll have one nice picture and the bar is already open. So enjoy the evening and thank you for making it. Yeah. So all roads to the bar lead from the stage. Come on, come. Come join us. Join us, come. I would specially request all the members who've taken their pins today to be on the stage. Let's have a nice big picture. All the new members with their pins. Pragati, Monica, please come. Yeah, come. Quickly, then you can all enjoy the bar and the evening. Please come, all of you. Vinay, come. And Vinay's best friend also can come. How Amita, Roxana, Manish ji, come on, all of you. Come in the middle, come, all of you, come. Ramakrishna Garu, Kanaka, new members especially. We want to see the new team right up on the stage. Come on. Rishabh, come. Monica, come. Come on, all of you, the new members. There were at least more than like 12 people who picked up their pins. Dilip, can I get Dilip on stage? Dilip, come. Dilip. Who else picked up the pins? SV, come. Better late than never. Come. All of you guys, come. Come on stage. Let's all. Nivedita ma'am, come. Suyash, get your team. I need 11 from you. Rammohan, come. Please come. Rao Saab, Chunduri Saab, Srinivas Chunduri Saab, please come. आओ, sir, come. It's always good to see you. Eh? Good, come. Yeah, please come. Let's all come on the stage. Suman Rekha ma'am, Sushmita, Naveen, Vinay, Pallavi ma'am, Sanjana, come. Toshniwal साहब, Tholeti साहब, आ जाइए. Come on stage, come. I am calling names. Prabhakar ji, please come. Subbarao, Shrikant. Come, please, come. Arey, Narsimhan. अरे वो वहां खड़ी है, उसको बुला भाई. अभिषेक बुला.
the light will come in the way. Cricket team.